Hello and welcome to yet another video on the Twofold channel. This time around, I'm bringing you an exclusive all the way from BMW's headquarters in Midrand. We are checking out the brand new BMW XM vehicle, which is set to launch in South Africa very soon. As per usual with my first impressions, remember we're not driving here. I'll be giving you my first impressions on the looks of the vehicle, and then just going inside and looking at the tech of the car, going into some technical specifications, talk about the pricing, and then we close it off with my overall pitch on the vehicle. Let's get started. So first things first, we're going to start off with the looks on this BMW XM. Like I said earlier in the introduction, this is the first ever XM model to come from a BMW. And looking at it from up front, you can see it's distinctive BMW with the big kidney grills in front that you find here. Sort of reminiscent of what you find in the M3 or M4 that launched a few years ago. Very big nose, but on this one, it's been shortened up a little bit, which makes you think that, BMW might be going back to that classic grille that they're known for. But we'll see with other future models what will exactly happen with this car. The BMW XM is similar to, if I were to put it in AMG terms, maybe what you'll find in the AMG GT. This is an exclusive model, well, rather a flagship model from BMW as you see it here. I really like the look of this car. It's very reminiscent of the X1 that launched a few months ago. In terms of looks, this one has been blown up a little bit more. But then again, looking at it at the back, it's very similar to that iX model that we reviewed a few months earlier as well. But before we move to anything else, I want us to move a little bit closer to the vehicle itself so I can show you some of the details that you'll find or that you can look forward to in the vehicle once it launches in the country. First things first, there's this lighting strip around the kidney grills that's really distinctive once the car is on. And I think at night when you're looking at the vehicle, it'll be really standing out from a point of view if you're looking at it, especially in your rearview mirror, or you're just staring and admiring the vehicle. And then you find these very slim headlights here. There are other further lighting right beneath that. And then really, we can move to the side of the vehicle where I can show you the clean lines that BMW has incorporated in the vehicle itself. Remember, it's a brand new model, but it's reminiscent of the iX that we drove, fully electric, but this one is a little different. Same thing with a few line details on the sides here that you can look forward to. There's some detailing here around the handle as well. You'll only see that once you move in a little bit closer, and then you can feel it with your hand as well. That really stands out from the vehicle. And then we can move into the back where I can show you some of that detail that I spoke about earlier, where I said the lights are very reminiscent of the X1 and the XM model, the iX model that launched a few months ago. So now that we're in the back, or at the back of the vehicle, I really want to show you some of the finer details that you can find here as well. There's this really cool sequencing here which really brings, the back side of the vehicle to life, which leads you to more detail here at the back. Again, I keep referencing to the iX that launched, about a year ago, but this is essentially it, but on a more refined and bigger, scale. Then you're greeted with these 4 exhaust pipes, which are more vertical than horizontal. It's something that obviously we're not used to, accustomed to, but it looks cool on this model because it's so big. It's a gigantic car, this. And then pretty much clean here by the lid of the boot, and then you're greeted with this XM badging over here. Something which is really peculiar because normally BMW's badging is on the right hand side, but this time around they've moved it here on the left hand side. Something to look forward to. And then that's pretty much it on the back side of the XM. It's really distinctive when you're looking at it. It makes you question, really, is it an electric vehicle or is it really a petrol vehicle or what's going on? And it's exactly that, a V8 vehicle, but also hybrid, if you really want to go that electric avenue way. I think let's have a look inside the vehicle. We've spoken about everything outside. Let's have a look inside so you can see all the fun tech that you can look forward to in the BMW XM. And finally, we are now in the BMW XM. It's a comfortable place to be in, and I don't want to lie. Look, I again, I keep making a lot of reference to the iX because essentially this is what this car is in terms of, you know, some of the features that you find on this vehicle, and then again bringing that inside. If you experience that, this is going to be much easier for you. But you're greeted with these very plush seats inside the car, very comfortable bucket seats, but they don't really hug you like bucket seats much. They're more, it's like a couch at home, man. It feels very comfortable and at home. I don't want to leave. I'm not leaving. I don't want to leave this spot right here. This spot right here. And then in front of you, what you find is this big infotainment screen that obviously BMW has introduced with their newer models. It's very bright, very clear, crisp, and the quality itself just screams, you know, BMW and luxury and very expensive. We'll talk about the price of this car later, but that's what you're greeted with. And then of course you have your instrumentals right in front of you, all part of this big infotainment screen that you have. Then again, you have the standard BMW M steering wheel in front of us, and then we have the gear lever here in the center, and some of the controls that you'll find in some of the, you know, popular M cars like the M3 and M4, they're right here, with some driving modes. And then again, there's another one for M Hybrid where you can, you know, select the driving terrain that you want in this vehicle, whether you want to go full e-power, just hybrid, or all electric. You can do that by just pressing a button here in the center console. Then it's just your storage up here, just where my arm is, where it's resting. Excuse me. And then you're greeted with a glove box here on the passenger side, obviously where they can entertain themselves. Sound system is Bowers & Wilkins in this specific model, all around the vehicle, and even at the back. And then something very cool, you'll have to come inside to see it, but this roof here detailing on this XM model is very cool, with some light details on the sides, which brings, you know, that effect, that lounge effect, especially when you're sitting at the back seat. I think I want to move to the back seat so you can actually see just what it looks like. So cool, now we're in the back seat of the XM, and like I mentioned before, this is a lounge, like for real. This is like presidential status. You're literally just having the time of your life at the back here. It's very comfortable, and similar to the front, the seats just, you know, hug you and you just want to spend the rest of your life in here. Again, the detailing in the roof is very present. Right here when you're in the back, you can see it clearly with the lighting that comes through in the vehicle as well. And then look, there isn't really much that you can do in the XM in the sense of there isn't like screens and entertainment and all of that, but they do have a holder here in the front, in the seat in front of you, where you can mount your own iPad or any other tablet, for instance, as well as a USB-C charger here for you. There's also some here at the bottom as well, so there is, you know, ways to make this entertaining for yourself if you really want to. And of course you're greeted with some air vents here on the pillars of the vehicle for the passengers here at the back. And then that's pretty much it. There are the sound speakers, the Bowers Wilkins one, like I spoke about earlier, that you can find here, and you are set and good to go. It's a very comfortable space to be in, like I said. I'll see you guys. Something that I found really interesting and more so confusing about this car is that where you plug it in here, the socket is actually a much slower charging one. BMW says this is a 7 kilowatt charging socket, and it can take about 4 hours for this car to charge the electric battery in it while you're plugging it in. It's rather strange, because we know that with other cars that have a combo, a faster charger, it will take about 50 minutes to charge it to full. But in any case, something else that's also very interesting is that the color on this car is Toronto red. I didn't mention it in the introduction of this video, but it's super cool and it's a color that I like. I've seen some models that actually have it specced out with a more gold, or is it yellow, trimming on the vehicle as opposed to black, which makes it really pop and gives it that Iron Man colors. When you're talking about technicalities and specifications on this engine, it is a V8 engine that's good for about 650 Newton meters of torque, and it can sprint from 0 to 100 in about 4.6 seconds. This car is very heavy, so it is impressive that it can do all of that given the weight of the car itself. I think that's about it from my side. We're just going to close it off with the pricing on the vehicle. Pricing on the XM when it launches this year will cost you about 3.4 million rand, BMW says. And I can't wait to see this car on the roads very soon. I'm looking forward to test driving it, but for now, like I said, this is just the first impressions. We just give you a first look of this vehicle, and then later we'll delve into exactly how it drives on the road. But for myself, from myself and Harmonix behind the camera, thank you so much for watching this video. Please let us know in the comments what you think of the special of this car itself, and please share it with your friends and family wide, and make sure that you subscribe to the Twofold channel so that you can be the first to know when we release new videos. Up until then, thank you so much.